you know, honestly, Peter used to watch what I used to call the worst TV shows on the planet. And at least I didn't like it. He liked the A-Team and T.J. Hooker and all this stuff. And so when his favorite show was on, it was my specific job to interrupt him and bother him as much as humanly possible. So I used to do that by all kinds of antics, whether it's flicking paper clips out of elastics and that kind of stuff, or drawing stupid things like, hey, what if Bruce Lee was a turtle? And then I did a drawing of it, and that's sort of how that lunacy started. Just marrying the two dumbest things I could think of and looking at it.
Why did you end up with 4, not 3, not 5, not 10?
You know, it's a good question as well. It's sort of it's like, you know, whether it's my Gemini-isms, my, you know, retentiveness of the way I like things very organized or symmetrical, whatever. Just seeing 4 seemed like a comfortable number, and yeah, no specific reason. It was just, you know, after, you know, I did my sketch, he did his sketch, then I did the pencil sketch we were talking about. It just fit, you know, there's the at the front and the 2 on the side. I said, oh, we need somebody on the top. They just seemed to work as a drawing. That's a wonderful part of how that evolved. It just was a very natural sort of flow right until the next day. And I love to have this part where, you know, whereas Pete and I didn't have any distracting painting work going on, we said we should really come up with a story to tell how these guys are teenage mutant ninja turtles. And pretty much had a blast.
And kind of riffing off of that last comment, what was the inspiration for some of your story elements once you had the 4 turtles and the name Teenage Mutant? Where did the story come from?
Well, you know, that's a good question too, because it's a tough thing to address, because I like to say that we were really inspired by Frank Miller and Jack Kirby and Daredevil and those kind of things, and you think about it, almost too inspired. The fact that, you know, we took the Daredevil origin and kind of continued the Daredevil origin and became a Turtles origin. So we felt like we were paying homage to some of the people that really influenced the most, like Jack Kirby, Frank Miller, people like that. And it was just a natural, the relationship, the working relationship, the creative relationship that Pete and I had was sort of 2 guys sitting in a room, as we said. We had 2 overstuffed easy chairs, lapboards, and it was just back and forth banter, sort of like, you know, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Oh, that's stupid. What do you think of this? Because I was doing the layouts, I got to hog most of, like, any ideas that I didn't like that Pete had, I would just do my own. And he tried to fix the line and get stuff right. No, but it was really a natural 100% collaboration. The Turtles would not have been created without the love of comics that we have, the respect for artists like Jack Kirby, our being big fanboys, big geeks, and really wanted to write for all the kinds of stories that we would like to read. And just, you know, pure love of the art, pure love of the medium, and we had an absolute blast doing it. That's the thing I remember the most about, especially in the early days.
And what was it that you feel there is about the Turtles that made them so successful so quickly, and that took you by such surprise?
Well, I think it was sort of, the whole thing took it by surprise in the sense that people bought a single copy besides Pete's wonderful parents and my parents. Because we really, when the books came in from the printer, we actually stacked them around. We made tables out of them, things, and we assumed that they were going to be there for a long time. And we also felt, I guess, that the reason that people picked up the Turtles was the title. You know, people would look at it and go, what? But they would pick it up, and whether after they picked it up, whether they put it back down or kept it and read the story and loved it, we sort of had them. And I think what we put into it was all the things that we liked as kids about reading comics, about superheroes, and that, you know, I grew up kind of a geek, Pete grew up kind of a geek, we were always in the art or drawing and that kind of stuff, and we always had this, felt like we had this hero inside of us, and we were sort of had this inner family of other geeks that were drawing, doing the same things. So we felt that that relationship the brothers had were kind of outcasts, but they had this wonderful family. Plus, they had, like, I think in my case, and I think in Pete's as well, we had an art teacher that really guided us along the way as this fatherly figure. So we sort of put that natural outcast family element together: respect for your elders, respect for each other, the love of the family, love of the brothers. And you know, the chips are down when things get tough, and the characters really sort of just wanted to be teenagers. We're put in this really dramatic situation where they had to sort of man up, if you will. They did the right thing. They played Harrison Ford. They played the Tarzan. They played the character that did the right thing, did the right, made the right choices, and it was a hero. That's, you know, I think we'd all be the guys that would run into the burning building or save the people in the car or whatever. And it's just being a hero, being a good person deep down inside. I think that's what resonates. I think in a lot of the stories that we told.
Cool. Before Mirage engaged search licensing and the whole big entertainment thing took off, you guys were doing quite well with the comics. They were selling very, very well. In those early days, were you ever approached by any major comic book publisher to do a deal, buy the turtles? Were you and Pete ever tempted to go knock on doors and cash out early as opposed to continuing to hang in and do it yourself?
Well, it's a great question because, we did, as I referenced in the statement, in the thing you saw at the beginning, is that Peter and I were huge fans of Jack Kirby, and I can't stress enough how much respect I have for this man, Jack Kirby, who is really the guy that I think is the driving force, the creative force behind creating most of the Marvel Universe. Besides being the most amazing person in the world, he was, we think, badly treated, and a lot of other people think he was badly treated by Marvel over the years. So we were aware of protecting our characters and copyright and trademark and that kind of thing. So, what was the question again?
Were you ever approached, or were you ever tempted to sell?
It's my ADDism kicking in. No, it's actually, by the time, we published the first issue that worked beyond our wildest dreams. We did the second issue, and like I said, it sold 15,000 copies, and that was enough that Peter and I, if it sold out, we'd make $2,000 each, and we could draw comic books for a living. That's really where the dream came true. So we did this, the third issue and the fourth issue, and then the sales kept going up. So that by the time we were doing comic conventions and we were approached by people like Archie Goodwin or people at Marvel or DC and said, "Oh, maybe you should come work for us." And we were like, "Why?" I mean, we were the writers, we were the editors, we were the artists. We actually answered the phone, we packed the boxes, we shipped them out, we did the mail order. We had the perfect world. We didn't have to answer to anybody, and so we got to write and draw and tell exactly the kind of stories that we wanted to do. We were approached later on when it became even more successful by a couple agents that were very sleazy. And even the fact that Mark Friedman came to see us for the first time, he showed up, and I remember because Pete and I were repainting the office in Massachusetts, we actually stepped up from a one-room office to a four-room office, tiny, and we were repainting it, so we're in shorts covered with paint, we had a t-shirt on, and in walks this guy, we open the door, and he's got his $800 suit, his perfect hair, he just did one of these frozen, East Mid-Lair, and we're like, yeah, fine. And he said, can we do a 5-year deal? Can we do this? Can we do that? And we said, look, we've been down this road with a number of people that have pitched us. If you're actually worth your salt, then we'll give you 30 days. And if you come back to us with something interesting, we'll give you another 30 days. And he came back, he went out and he did his homework, and he came back and introduced us to Playmates, and he introduced us to, Murakami Wolf as it became. And he put the pieces together, and he talked to us with respect, and we worked together as a team. And I think, especially in the early days, Mark, Peter, and I really were a great, solid team collaboration, and we learned a lot from Mark. So.
Well, there's a great segue to the next man right next to me. The key deal being the toy deal, not only because we developed the toys, but also funded the mini TV miniseries. And when Playmates first got the turtle rights, Carl was not there. They went out and actually recruited Carl to come to work on the turtle toy line, and he was working in the marketing department at Ore-Ida Potatoes in Boise, Idaho. So I don't think it necessarily took a lot of convincing to get Carl to leave there and go to California and work for a toy company. While you probably jumped at the chance to escape the exciting world of frozen potatoes, what